Hello and welcome to another episode of Rugby Through Your Leagues podcast. This week we are doing a collaborative episode with Game Day Bites. Pasquale has joined us to make sure we cover everything in relation to the Rugby Europe Championship so far. We know we've had 3 rounds, but what a 3 rounds we are so far. And then we haven't even got started on the whole relegation and title semi-final battle. Just lock in now because we've got plenty to go through. Pasquale, thank you so much for joining and for instigating this whole conversation. For those that know you through the bits that we've started collaborative working on, please enlighten everyone so that they can come and follow your channel as well and just show the love for everything that we do together.
Well, thanks. That's really kind of you. Hello, everyone. My name's Pasquale. I'm a lifelong rugby fan, and I decided at the back end of last year to launch my own Instagram and social media channels, which is Game Day Bites. I've been working as a community manager at my local club in Toledo, Spain, for the last couple of years, and I decided that it was time to give it go that extra step and start creating more content, get more involved within the rugby community, because I'm still flabbergasted after 12, 13 years of being in Spain, the amount of passion that there is for the game, and yet how little it's spoken about in bigger mainstream media or in circles, in bigger circles than just the rugby family. So yeah, it's a pleasure to be here and to collab with you. And obviously we were lucky enough to be in Amsterdam a few weeks ago for the start of the championship.
Yeah.
So now we're at that midway point, or just past the midway point. It felt like a good time to have a chat.
Yeah, what an event that was as well for how welcoming we were made, and obviously the Spanish team being there, obviously watching such a display of rugby, but the hospitality from the Netherlands and just the door opening on a new era within Dutch rugby was so exciting to see. Like, the results haven't quite worked out on the pitch so far, but
Yeah.
you could tell there's something brewing there.
It was brilliant to be there, involved with the crowd. The stadium is brilliant. The clubhouse was full of history. I'm still shocked at the amount of just everywhere you looked, there was rugby history going back almost 100 years.
Yeah.
And it was great also to have a chat with Brian, new manager, at the end of the match. So it hasn't worked out, like you said, in terms of maybe results, but there's definitely been a lot of promise there from what is a very young Dutch team, and it set us up for a great start of what has been really good 3 rounds of rugby.
I think they've currently had 12 new caps already in the first 3 games that Brian's been in charge. And just the brand of rugby that they want to play. It didn't quite work out at the weekend, and we'll obviously get onto the Switzerland game, but
Yeah.
just you being a Quins fan, when Quins, I know it's a disability as it is, but you know when Quins had that season that they literally looked prime for G and All Blacks mix, where everything was out the back door. They looked dead and buried, and then they just went full jouet and they won the league. Like, there was very much an element to that in that opening game from the Netherlands. It was very much, you might score, but we're going to try and score one more. I think Georgia is probably the easiest way to start.
Yep.
Results have gone very well for them. I think they're still beatable. I think there is a potential victory over them at some point. Like,
Did you watch the full match the other day?
I managed to switch on just after half time. I rewatched the game though, because obviously, and I was just, Spain missed the opportunity, I think, to take an away victory in Tbilisi there.
Did they miss the opportunity, or was it they kept the scoreboard ticking over? They were in it. Not a lot of team would have kept going to the post, but they kept going to the post in the first half, and then straight away after half time, there's a great bit of brilliance by Tammy By.
But that was the thing. Tanny had to come on. Like I don't think we went with the right 9 to start with. Like obviously Tanny's been so crucial in a lot of stretching games, stretching plays, stretching the team, being able to put the team in such a forward way of playing. When we managed to bring in, I'm probably going to absolutely bastard his name here, but it's Arutukaseta.
Again, that's a good one for real.
Yeah. So yeah, for him to come in, yes, okay, he's been playing top 14 rugby and he's been playing top level French rugby, but I saw him against Georgia last year in Madrid and they had his number then. And to not start with Tanny being so influential to the way that this Spanish team has been built throughout the summer, throughout sort of the back end of the last Rugby Europe Championships, through the autumn internationals as well, then for him to be sat on the bench for the probably what was potentially a crucial first half of the game against Georgia, I thought it was obviously a calculated risk. I just don't think it panned out.
I was just about to say, do you think that was on purpose as they think longevity throughout the tournament rather than... Because what's the point of going to Georgia, getting the win, and then obviously knowing that you've got the finals back in Madrid, maybe picking up some injuries?
To be honest, you've got to hope. You've got to go and do Portugal. I was there last season for the Iberian Derby in Lisbon to watch Spain obviously overturn Portugal for a first time in a while, and they've got to go and do it again. I think Portugal are probably potentially up for the grabs. I think we're probably still seeing the same Portugal that we saw last time round, but it's a risk to play when you've got an opportunity to go and put one on Georgia. I'd prefer to have gone and seen and tested Georgia in their own backyard, get that home semi, the home final, and then put Georgia on the back foot by having to travel to potentially Lisbon with an informed Portugal.
Which we'll get to. I do feel that the reverse penalty under the posts at 63, 64 minutes changed the game. Spain were in the ascendancy. They got a couple tries. Yes, Georgia hit back, but they stayed composed, and they were doing damage. I don't know if it was by himself or somebody. Somebody spoke back to the referee. He reverses the penalty. Georgia cleaned their lines. Defensive mistake, yellow card, 2 scores, and now it suddenly gets a lot more difficult. Like you say, having to go to Portugal with a really informed Portuguese team to get the result. I was there 2 years ago when there was that dubious try in touch or not in touch. It was a TMO, I think. It's not going to be easy crowds to go and get one over on the Portuguese now. So I feel like the moment in sport, there's always a moment, and that was the moment. They were there, they had them, they would have been within a point or 2 points if they got the 3 points.
Yeah.
But Gutierrez was he was doing it was a great job, obviously coming in for the injured. Remind me of the name. Name's gone. Fly off.
Oh, what for Vinyesa, Gonzalo
Yes,
Vinyesa.
exactly, Gonzalo, yeah. So he's come in, he's got really composed.
Richardi, he's different fucking gravy, mate. He is so good, so composed with a boot, and to have obviously Güemes sat on the bench from Lavia, like we've got depth, but we've also not got depth at 10. And like we spoke about this during the Netherlands game. Like the 10 worries me at times. Like it depends who we've got there. But I spoke to Senor Cuevo, who's another bloke on X that covers Spanish rugby, really top bloke. but we spoke about how exposed we potentially are at fullback as well. We've completely left Georgia here. We've gone full Spain again, typical. But I think
we are based here.
yeah. I think we're exposed at fullback. I think
John Wessel,
Vessel Bell
played. Yeah.
is very, very good, but if he gets a crock or if he's injured, stuff like you look at the Georgian options. They brought Nini Ashvili in. They had
scored the try going backwards behind the line.
He is an absolute just filth. And then you've got Matt Carver on the bench at 10. You've got Abgadadze coming in at 10. You've got the option that what seems to be potentially an absolute gem to have found with Tabladze at 13. He seems to be like nothing gets to Tabladze anymore. Like nothing. He used to be the try machine. Nothing even needs to get past Tabladze because you're literally going to get a try off him at 13. It's just that some of the players that they've got there are just unbelievable. But
so, are they favourites for you after the first group stages?
No,
because I think I saw enough from what was really like kind of second string Spanish starting team anyway in Georgia.
I think if we
get a result over them in Madrid.
I think if we get the players back that we potentially will get back for the semi and for the final, I think this is the time that Georgia are there for the taking.
Yeah, and I agree with you.
Disciplinary wise, that cheap shot, that clear head shot, he was lucky to have that. How long his ban comes out for, that was just again another one. They don't look as terrifying up front anymore. But new management, new future management, I don't think they are going to go physical anymore. They're going to want that varied ability. They've got players coming back. They've got players coming in. They've got such exciting options at 9 with even Lobzandzadze being on the bench at 9. Just what he can do in the sixpence is just terrifying for most teams. But I think the Spanish looked terrible defensively in that game.
Well, they missed 27 tackles.
That is just unheard of in a Spanish team. In a Spanish team recently, that is one bit there they pride themselves on is defensive strength. That literally there was tackles where I saw them stroking the players they went past. That does not happen in the new team under Pablo. It's just not. That first 40 minutes was not a Spanish display at all.
So do you reckon they got the hairdryer treatment?
Well, he had to resort to changes. There was a reason that he brought the changes on. But the exciting options that we've got at Ortega, how good was he? In the lead up to the Lucien Richardi try, being able to, just his alertness to be able to play the ball off the deck, in straight into Tanibai's hands, just for the easy pass for him to just glide over the line for Richardi.
If people haven't seen that try, it really is in the min of
the lad only
champagne rugby, innit?
The lad only got a call up through what he did in the Super Cup. He was electric in the Super Cup for the Iberians, and he showcased exactly what he can do, and he's now got that call. And we've still got options. We've got Mario's brother, Hugo Pichard, who again was exceptional in the Super Cup. I'd love to have seen him get the call up against Switzerland, against the Netherlands. Georgia did that. We also did that, but I don't think we went full balls deep on some of the options. I think there was still an air of caution that we can't go full transitional like everyone else has.
But do you feel that the World Cup's a year and a bit away, a year and a half away? Most teams, we're going to see some other teams as well in the championship, going through rebuilds.
They all are now. They all
They
are.
exactly, and that you can see that also in the other tiers of international rugby. So, are we getting ahead of ourselves? Are we going to see the best rugby championship ever
No,
next year?
this won't be, and the next year won't be either, because there'll be an element of you don't want to get injured in the Rugby Europe Championship
Yeah,
6 months or so before a World Cup.
exactly.
And I think this version now is going to be probably the stronger version, but like the next one's potentially the one that you see the likes of Netherlands, whoever gets out of this relegation battle. But I think they'll potentially be stronger because there won't be the focus on trying to keep players fit.
Okay. Well, to keep us in time, do you want to go over the other two teams of Pool A, or do you want to go over to Pool B winners?
I think we cover. I think we cover Portugal and Romania. I think we the top four, the semi-final pieces,
Yeah.
is probably
Okay.
the best way. But
Portugal
George,
made it look easy, really, in the first three games of the tournament.
Portugal,
Yeah.
but they do. They did last time round. Romania are a shadow of themselves. They've looked bang average at best since the start of the last tournament. The only game they really turned up for was the Portugal third place playoff when they had
Yeah.
to play in the rain, and Portugal had already sort of shot himself in the foot off the back of the Iberian Derby, hadn't really turned up then, and then got served up in what was horrendous conditions in Lisbon. It's Romania. I think they're such an ageing side. They had, coming into the tournament, I think off the top of my head, it was 8 key injuries. There's players that have not even got an allocated team at the minute that are in the squad. So the Romanian actual domestic league is on a break. It's been on a break since November, maybe. So the new season hasn't started. You've got players out of selection, out of clubs, coming in injured, coming into a Rugby Europe Championships that they didn't look convincing in last year. And they come into this one, and the first game out, I called it. I said, the first game out, they'll lose to Germany. I think it was the best option Germany had to beat them. And if the weather hadn't come down, they'd have probably lost to Belgium.
Do you see the clips going viral on the Germany victory, last minute German victory, or the last 5 minutes German victory?
Yeah, well, it was coming. Like it has been coming. Germany have put bits together. They should have beat Romania the first game of last season, but they didn't. They then should have beaten Belgium, but they didn't. They should have then probably gone and put one on. I think they had to play the Netherlands in the other. They should have potentially done that. They didn't. They then had the full control for the first 40 plus minutes against Switzerland in that relegation battle. Well, the seventh, eighth play, and they threw it away, and they went for a kick, missed the kick, and then Porsche went and made that drop goal. But Romania just don't look good enough. I just don't. They're void of options. There's no progression. There's no development within Romania. I think they'll go to the World Cup and get absolutely tonked.
Do you think Spain will do better than Romania in the World Cup?
I did like the group, the way the group pool's been drawn. Probably not. Going into it, if the draw had been, if the games had gone correctly, I think the Spain one would have worked out pretty well. I think Spain will go there and probably do better, but I don't think the draws worked in their favour. Like, you kind of want to get maybe the easier game out of the way, like Canada. You'd want to get there and get a bit of confidence. You get a bit of momentum.
And that's the last game of the
And
last game of the group stages.
and it's the last one. So I think Romania are just going to really, really struggle. But then Portugal look electric. But who's actually put them under pressure?
Well, exactly. Although that back line is
But that back line did exactly
really
the
fast.
same. They did
But they're
exactly
so
the
quick.
same.
It's incredible how quick they are. So again, is it the opposition that made them look better than what they are? I guess we'll find out next week.
They, yeah, they they seem to have tied together the issues that they had. But I think they're again one defeat away from it all falling down. I think the levels are in play again. I think they're very good against the other sides. I just don't. They're going to get a proper test against the Spanish. Like the Iberian Derby is going to properly test them. Spain managed to slow the game down, like
Hmm.
and nullify the way that the Portuguese love to create chaos. Like they create. I asked this question to Simon Maddox, and he didn't take it the way that I meant it. I said that the Portuguese love to play chaotic rugby,
Hmm.
but in a good chaotic way. Like
In
it's exciting to see. Like you don't know how it's going to change. Like, but he took it as in it wasn't a compliment. But I meant it as a compliment. It was chaotic rugby, but they're able to express it. And like just as you said, that back line, just the passes are clinical and the
Yep.
speed. They haven't even got Storty back. Storty's still playing over in Grenoble at the minute. Like the options that they've got to call back into that Portuguese side is phenomenal. But are they at the level that Spain are now?
I think there's a quiet confidence about the Spanish side. Um, and I don't know if this Portuguese team has the same aura that maybe the one that went to the last World Cup had.
I think they look a lot better with Ferrero at 10
Hmm.
and with Marquez at 9. Obviously, you got the option of Hugo Camacho coming in at 9 for them as well, which is very exciting. It's like a Nico Infa option. It's very exciting when it goes well, but when it doesn't go like I love Tanny Boy. I think he's exceptional at 9. But when we played against the Irish, they literally shut him out of the game. They literally found every option to stop him out of that game. And you brought on Nico, and he added a whole new level again. I think we've got an exciting option at 9. With Marquez for Portugal, I'm pretty sure he's about 104. Like at least he looks it, bless him. But he's phenomenal off the tee and just steady Eddie. And he's still exciting with it. But look, that can't be the future option.
Okay.
I think there's kind of a case of they're getting through, but where is the and then obviously if they manage to lose Begic at hooker, they haven't got anyone that can throw. Like there's too many parts. They rely on Martins as well. So if Nicholas Martins gets shut out of a game, if you
Hmm.
can't win the turnovers because the game's been slowed down with multiple bits, it's up. I think I love the Portuguese rugby. I think it's exceptional to watch as well. Like the whole Iberian Peninsula way of playing rugby reminds me of the South American flair mixed with Fiji flair. Do you know what I mean? It's just fuck it. Like we'll figure it out later. Like worst case, we're going to score 10, but we're going to try and make sure you only score 9. Like
9, yeah.
it's it's love, but I don't know what the Romanian identity is at the minute. What are they trying to play? They've got 10, 9, 8, 9 players out, key players. I just like they used to be just physically want to fucking beat you up, but even now they don't look as convincing at that.
I think team success is all cyclical. Like you can't always expect the same unless you're in like some American university college where they have the same coach and they can go out and get the best players every year. It's difficult to have that continuity. Sir Alex Ferguson was still talked about. He's still talked about. Look at Man United and the problems that they have nowadays. Exactly because for 20 plus years he was able to instill a system, but even he wasn't able to win constantly, or to he changed his style of play. So I guess
But
in all sports that happens,
he still knew
especially.
what style he had. He still had a variant of a main style. There
But it
was
evolved, didn't it? It did evolve. He didn't. His first Man United iteration didn't play the same way that his last one in 2013 did.
exactly, but like there was still an identity. You still knew they were going to go the full 99 minutes or whatever Fergie time that
Because
he
of the
managed.
badge, because he knew that it was
It
United
wasn't over until Fergie told the ref it was over. Like,
basically.
but Romania didn't. Remain. I just don't. They've got such good players at times, but I just don't know what they now are without those players. Like there is no plan B.
Well, that said, they still end up coming second in the group and now have a chance of making the final. They
They
played Georgia.
they got very very lucky.
They got really lucky.
They got really lucky that Belgium
They,
were in an absolute quagmire. Like that pitch, I'm surprised they didn't come out with fucking snorkels on. Like
but it
it
was
was that bad.
it was it was a really bad watch. It wasn't great. And when you know that the highlight was only 3 minutes, then
Exactly.
you know it hasn't probably been a great spectacle. They looked like they'd been working in the farm for a few years.
They were 8 foot underwater, and the amount of
Yeah.
mud that come up was just bonkers. I just I don't know. I just don't think Romania have got lucky that there were two other teams that weren't at the level on the day.
In the other group, Pool A. So hold on. Pool B finishes with Portugal, Romania, Belgium, and Germany. We'll get to the semis and the ranking in a second. And Pool A was Georgia, 3 wins out of 3. Spanish won the 2 games, and then Switzerland and the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Now, Switzerland, the surprise package of the tournament so far,
Oh no!
because
Oh no! No! I don't. I don't think there was a surprise. I think there was enough from them last year to show what they were. I just didn't. I just didn't think they'd gone away and done enough because there was. I think they maybe had one friendly since the last championships, but they've managed to recruit exceptionally well. Like they've brought in a lot of players. They brought in the lad that plays 9 for him. Fucking, I've got to remember his name. But he's only in like he's not even like pro rugby. He's not even a National Un or Pro de Deux. Blessing
which
Mutango.
Blessing Mutan, yeah.
Yeah, he's such a good player. But he's 32, 33. So it's not a
Yeah, I was
future
gonna
plan.
say there's not spring chicken. He
No,
definitely can transmit passion. He's able to transmit that passion whilst he's on the pitch.
and
He was loving the try.
he loves it, mate. And I think he's got a future if somebody is able to sort of pick him up. But there's a lot of players that have come into this squad that weren't in the squad last year. There's been a big change. I think a lot of it will depend how Porsche, if we find out how injured he was, because it looked pretty serious at the end of the Netherlands game. Like he went off in a stretcher. He was down for 10, 15 minutes. Like there was a number of collisions where they were just cheap shotting him, like after the ball, just like fuck it, we're going to try and stick one on him.
Did you see the chip for the last try?
But again, just poor, potentially poor defensive options there. But
He
in
completely
the
swung. He swung though, didn't it? He
it,
completely went the opposite way. It was
he
brilliant.
he went for the drop goal again, and that's what they thought was going to happen. And then obviously, but I don't like to speak ill of refereeing, but that's probably one of the most question. I'll put it as one of the most questionable refereeing performances I've seen in such an important integral game.
Well, we'll see what the viewers say about that. Drop a comment inside the
Yeah,
in the comment box below, and yeah.
I I just some of it like on both sides though. It wasn't
Hmm.
just there was a lot of stuff that could have gone one way or the other, but the Netherlands, to me, it looked like a clear grounding that they should have won that in the last minute, or at least had the try to go 29-28 with a kick.
Can we look at the stats of that game? So the Dutch had 65% possession.
Yeah,
They made 138 completed passes to Switzerland's 66. The Swiss had 4 tries to the Dutch 2. Okay, we say that dubious grounding, non-grounding. The rest was pretty easy. 18 did beaten defenders both. Turnovers were 10-8,
discipline.
and
It was down to
and
discipline.
the Swiss put in 187 tackle. Now, obviously, if you've got the ball, you don't need to tackle that much, but it's over 100 and it's over 100 tackles more than the Dutch did. So maybe they wanted it more.
I don't think it was no, because when I watched it, I thought the Dutch were once they were fully in control. They were 13-3 up after 18 minutes.
Yeah.
Vick Meyer
Vick
could
Meyer has got a boot on him, mate.
make kicking it from halfway and just
From it was like, but
at two steps and like
yeah, he's
uh,
massive.
mate met him as well. Obviously, there such a nice lad. Literally, he is literally probably the poster. He's like David Beckham of fucking rugby. Poster boy, absolute mate. It would not surprise me if there's like Dutch teenage girls with his poster on their wall. Like he's literally like he's
Pretty big poster.
yeah, but he is like he's what could be rugby personified like that. Literally the way that you want to potentially take it. Such a nice lad, really clever lad as well, and can fucking kick for miles.
He
Like,
can.
why can't we poster boys like, but a poster boy like people like that? Like that is the way that potentially grows to a different audience. But as soon as he got that yellow, they lost that connection. There was they managed to then slot in and they got it through the hands a couple of times. They
Yeah.
got the try. Like they they turned up wanting to play Dutch rugby and ended up getting into a physical arm wrestle, which they weren't going to win.
How
Because
much do you think, as a separate, like, along with keeping with that, how much is it important to stay true to your club or country culture, but also but you have to adapt, don't you? Look at England have made how many tests have they won, or how many World Cup finals have they reached by being a bit so boring, I guess.
yeah,
So,
there's a boring, there's an adaptability, but like if you're not geared up for an arm wrestle,
mm,
especially away from home, like how many times have you played a game that you know right? This is what the coach has put in place. We know they're bigger than us,
yeah,
right? They're going to want us to get sucked into a one-on-one up front, tight, close quarter game. We've got backs that can run them absolutely ragged. How many times have you gone and played a grassroots game and been sucked into a punch-up?
yeah,
70,
like
75, 80% of the time.
yeah. Psychology in sports is a funny way of coming to get you. So
It's funny though, it happened, and it happened on the biggest stage because they are in a transition. They are a younger Netherlands side. Like they haven't gone out there to go front up, but they know They've probably got forwards that wanted to go. There's an element of cockswinging ability as well. Like, yeah, fuck it, I can do this. But like when the refs potentially against you through decisions that you're making because you're trying to overpower your oppo, when you've got backs that can run them ragged, they got sucked into a game plan that Switzerland wanted to do after 18 minutes and they couldn't get out of it. That was simple as that.
And obviously that then was a great game. They put up the full game on YouTube as well. So I definitely tell everyone to go and watch it. It was a great. I mean, just the kicking was incredible, but it was a great finish as well. It had loads of drama. So
Porsche absolutely run the show. Like after
yeah,
that 18 minutes, the geezer absolutely run the show. And if he is out for the rest of the tournament, he is the Swiss superpower. That's my opinion. I think that could be the end of their tournament.
okay. So looking ahead, we've got on the 7th, Switzerland, Germany, 12 local, Belgium, Netherlands in the evening. And then on the 8th, we've got Georgia, Romania, which is 11 a.m. our local time, but 3 p.m. local. And in Georgia, obviously. And then Portugal, Spain at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The rankings, should we talk about the semi-final?
Do you want to do that before we talk about Germany and the right? So we spoke about this beforehand. So I had to actually text Rugby Europe to find out the breakdown of the who, what, whens, and hows of the relegation. So the first part is really simple. If
Pen and paper, everyone.
pen and paper. What? Or if you just, it's going to be one of them like mind maps. It's like
I'm gonna take notes with you.
it's like Rain Man, right? So if Germany lose to Switzerland in that game, Germany are relegated. Doesn't matter about the last game, right? They're down due to ranking points over the 2 years this works out, okay? If Germany win, they'll obviously get into the 5th, 6th playoff, okay?
Yeah.
But depending on how the Netherlands do in their semis and their final. So if Switzerland lose to Germany in their game and then go and lose in the 7th and 8th playoff final, they will be relegated because they'll only have 3 ranking points. Okay? If Switzerland then finish 7th by winning their 7th and 8th playoff game, they'll end on 4 points. Okay? If the Netherlands lose their semi-final to Belgium, then lose the 7th and 8th playoff final at finals day, they'll finish on 4 points. If the Netherlands finish 7th, they'll end on 5 points. If Germany finish 6th, because they go and lose in the 5th, 6th playoff, they'll end on 4 points. If Germany finish 5th, they'll end on 5 points. So
Everyone finishes on 4 points.
So basically, if Germany win and they get to the
they're safe.
fifth, well, yeah, they live to another weekend, but they got to win both games effectively.
They need to win. So Germany need to win both games.
Both games, right? So if they win, but then lose in the 5th, 6th playoff, they could end on 4 points. Okay. If Switzerland obviously lose to Germany in their game and then beat, say, the Netherlands, they could finish 7th and end on 4 points. If the Dutch lose to Belgium and then also, say, lose to Switzerland in the 7th and 8th place, they could all potentially leave on 4 points. So we'll have 3 teams on 4 points, which will then go down to points difference, which would then relegate Switzerland because of their opening day defeat on the last round to Georgia.
Right.
Everyone with us?
Yeah, I started taking notes. I got lost. I've got Germany win, lose, Swiss lose, win. So 4 points. There's 4 points everywhere, but I think we've got you.
So basically, Germany have got to win both to
Yeah.
survive. Switzerland have got to win to survive. It's just, it's in Germany's hands to kill himself effectively.
Okay.
But they could get to finals day already relegated.
And what about the yeah, just blown my mind away with all of that information. It's a good couple of rules in there for that.
Yeah, there's plenty in there.
There's plenty of points.
Yeah, there's just
Let me just
points.
plug in the laptop for them. I mean, they don't help themselves making it so.
No, especially because in the Rugby Europe Trophy, Luxembourg got relegated last season in the middle of a 2-year cycle, but it's a 2-year cycle to get promoted, but not to get relegated.
Yeah, because Switzerland last year came up, isn't it?
Yeah, the year before they won, but yeah, last year was their first year.
Yeah. Okay, so those are the semi-finals to stay up. What about semi-finals between Portugal, Spain, and Georgia, Romania? Are we saying it's a certain Georgia in the final?
100%. I think Georgia put an absolute cricket score on Romania.
Okay, like without even trying or having to score a try, falling backwards over the try line.
I think they could I think Nini Ashvili could literally just float from one end of the pitch to the other. Like, that kid has got so much talent.
And what about the Iberian Peninsula derby?
Fuck me. Obviously,
Yeah,
being biased,
we want the Spanish in Madrid for the final.
I think the Spanish come out on top. I just don't think it will be as convincing as last year. They managed to do an absolute number on Portugal last year. I think a lot of it will depend on players called up. It depends on who is back available from the French leagues. If Richardi's available at 10, etc., I think they they go and manage to beat Portugal.
Okay. What do you want to close off with?
I think we probably pick a game of the tournament so far. I think.
Yeah. Okay. What is a game tournament for you?
Oh, very good question. There's plenty of options.
It wasn't Belgium, Germany from the other day.
Well, it depends. That's a proper rugby purist. Like, even Belgium against Germany was a proper purist day out. If you love
Gritty, I think,
a
was the
line
word
out
that they described it.
a line out maul. I love a line out. The only way that would have been better is if all of those tries were scored off scrums. Like, that would have been that would have capped it for me. But I if I was gonna pick a game of the tournament, it would have to probably be the Germany Romania game, just because of how it ended. But I am actually going to pick one half of rugby,
Okay.
and that was the Switzerland first half against Georgia.
Which was, I think they kept them to 3 points or seven,
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 seven, seven,
seven
three,
point,
seven,
7-3.
7-3 or something like that. It was just everything but what they're like. Switzerland just couldn't get that final bit, but to hold a team like Georgia to that scoreline after 40 minutes. And they went and done another 40-minute display over in Spain as well. Because what
Yeah.
they were
The first half. Yeah.
they're ahead twice. Like, if you could have bolted those two together, like, I think Switzerland have been absolutely exceptional this first half of the tournament so far. I do hope for them that Porsche's not crocked and not out for the rest of the tournament, because I think he's crucial to how they play. And again, like, I just don't know how there's even the thought process that this could potentially be dropped back down to 6 teams. Like from 2028, they're on about that there's potential. It's not confirmed, but there's a potential that the Rugby Europe Championships will be reduced back down to 6. I think it's impossible to argue after how good this first 3 rounds have been. There's a lot of people who said that this has been wasted games. I just don't think it has. I think it's been extremely exciting. I think anything could have happened.
I think apart from situation in Placencia with the pitch that we obviously knew wasn't going to be great, and they still decided to carry on until the day before, then change it. Apart from that, it's been great. It's been great to see fans in the stands. For us as well, we were there in Amsterdam.
Yeah,
It was brilliant. It was brilliant the way that there's a real community vibe about it. And it was some brilliant rugby. There has been some absolutely brilliant rugby. That Spanish try on 53 minutes, if you haven't seen it from the game against Georgia, go and watch it. I don't want to be over the top and say the All Blacks would be, proud of it, but that's the way that you always think. Well, you always told that rugby should be played. Free flowing, quick hands, good hands.
but it was even like the Taddy Boy try as well, when it was just a case
He's
of
really fast. Can't believe how quick he is.
and to outpace.
He did just
It
come
was
on.
Tabu Zadze, so he'd literally been on 3 minutes, received the ball, and just kicked to space, and it was just like gone. And you think, like, like if that was in the Six Nations, you'd have seen that on
Yeah, you would have
fucking
seen that all over the place. Yeah, of course you would.
everywhere, and it's just
Yeah,
there is so much excitement, and like even the Portuguese side, you just watch that back line just go through the hands, and like if
Pinto,
you want
Cardoso Pinto. He's insane.
a Marta, just even
It's electric, bro.
and like you watch Camacho or Marquez get to the line and the pullback. It's just if you want your kid to go and learn how to make that pass, just
Yeah.
go and watch what Portugal have done in the Rugby Europe Championships, making it to the line and literally that pullback pass to create depth and just explosivity is just phenomenal. I just fucking love it.
And I mean, for somebody born and raised in the UK
Yeah,
to gone to school and to obviously the usual lot that play rugby, but to be here now, this day and age, being able to watch and get really excited and be involved, Portuguese rugby, Spanish rugby, Switzerland, things that we wouldn't have heard when I was at school. I'm sure when you went to school, we would have heard of that much.
no,
Bloody brilliant, brilliant. So I think a word to everyone, stay tuned. Next week, semi-finals weekend, we shall hopefully be in finals in Leganes,
yeah.
if your ankle gets better.
I'll be at both.
Bit-
We've got Keith's coming over as well, so we're going to
Okay,
be
awesome.
covering both angles. So we're going to be in both, whether one of us is half in one, half in the other for the bit, but we're going to be across both stadiums
Both
for
stadiums.
the full day. So
And
yeah,
remind everyone who's thinking maybe of coming and spend the weekend in Madrid or in Spain, what the final is in Leganés. Third and fourth place as well is in Leganés.
yeah. Well, obviously, I did it for the Ireland A game, and they just set it up outside fan zone. For those that haven't been to the Estadio Nacional, it reminds you of a gladiator stadium of old time Rome, but God, they can throw a party. They put on bars left, right, and centre, open air. As long as the weather's good, which it's starting to turn back to good. Like,
Yep, we've had a good week.
I think the snow's obviously being down south's a bit better, but like I
We've not
don't.
really had any that much.
No, like we've had a little bit, but nothing.
It has not stopped raining for a month. It's probably been closer to the UK than what you'd expect from Spanish weather, but it is a great day out. So anyone watching that fancies it, come to Madrid.
Tickets are cheap as well. I'm just double checking what the prices were because
Both matches is 45 quid, I think, 45 euros for both the third and fourth and the final.
how much is
I
it for
think it is.
all? So tickets for kids are €10 for all.
Tenner.
So it's €10 for the 7th and 5th, and then from 25 for you get hospitality for €90 for 2 games at Yaganes.
Mad, isn't it?
And then if you wanted to go
It's a
and
great
do,
stadium. It's a
oh,
great stadium.
so
Are you
good.
doing a press conference? You coming for the press conferences?
Potentially not. I think I've got a game the day before for my 16s that I coach. But yeah, €10 for an adult for 2 games for the 5th and the 7th playoff as well at the Estadio Nacional. It's about an hour across on the train, roughly. So
Yeah.
you might have to leave the 5th place game a little bit early, but to get across. But it's just do it. It's 100% worthwhile. But yeah, obviously we've only lightly touched on the Germany side of the tournament, but what a performance from them in the first game. It didn't pan out in the other two. Belgium have looked bang average. Obviously managing to grind out a critical result against Germany. Let's find out how they're going to do the Dutch. It's full rebuild mode in Rugby Europe, but it's still exciting, mate. I just love it. It's just so good.
And we hope our listeners and viewers stay in tune with us and enjoy the rest of the show. So
Yeah, plenty more to
2
come.
more weeks to go.
Yeah, plenty more. And obviously there's plenty of other stuff that we've done and everything. So go and check out the other stuff on YouTube, and obviously go and check out Game Day Bites. And obviously if you like what we do on Rugby TTL, just make sure you like, follow and subscribe, all that stuff. But yeah, Rugby Europe, we ain't going nowhere.
Going nowhere. It's getting bigger.
Right, everyone, thank you for joining us. Make sure you go like, comment and subscribe, and I've probably clickbaited a few of you into some comments, so hopefully speak to you soon.
Take care.